Hi there, it's Mark Carlson here. So this week's video, how you can heal your disputes, arguments, conflicts in an intimate relationship. Now the intimate relationship I'm talking about is a committed relationship that is founded on number one, trust, and number two, love. Right? So even if you love each other, if you don't have trust, you don't have a relationship worth being in, really. So it has to be trust, number one, and then love. So in those relationships, this is for you. Conflicts still arise, right? Arguments still arise because we have our belief system that says this is the way it should be, and both of them will agree on some of those beliefs, but both partners will also have their own independent views, and that's why sometimes there's conflicts there. So what I want to offer you here is a way to really heal that, and quickly. One simple technique that you can use that will change reality if you'll use it. There is a bit of a challenge that comes with it, but of course, for anything to work well, we have to move through challenge, right? So, you know, when we have conflict, of course, the conflict's there because it offers an opportunity to take the relationship to a higher level of love. And this will get you there quickly, as long as you do it. It's the same with anything, I guess. So here's the thing. So when we have a conflict, the conflict's always arising here. And what we have in the mind operates from separation, so it sees things as separate from. We see each other from separate from. Even in the closest relationship where we're combining and uniting, we still see each other from the mind as separate from each other, and that's why conflicts come. So we stand righteous in a particular belief, and if that righteous belief isn't agreed upon by the partner, then a conflict occurs. Right? So the first thing we've got to do is to get to this place. Because the heart, I know it's a cliche, but love is always the answer. Love really is the answer. So how do we get there? So when you're in conflict, you sit down, and you might be still angry with each other, you might be still challenged, you might not even want to talk to each other. But when you mature enough to do this, you say, let's sit down, and here's the point. Let's connect from our heart center first. So you face each other and you imagine sending love from your heart center, the heart chakra, to your partner's heart chakra. And you do that. And you stay there as long as you can, at least 5 minutes, where you're just imagining and close your eyes and imagining that you're sending each other love. Now, I said earlier, the challenge of this is that when you're hurt, when you're struggling, when you're angry with your partner, it's more difficult to do this because that righteous part of you wants to be right. That's why it's called a righteous part. And it thinks that the other part's wrong. And so the conflict goes on there. But we heal from our heart. So when we both consciously come to this place and say, okay, I can't see a solution at the moment. I don't know how to get there. So let's move beyond where we're looking from, which is here, and get to this place in the heart center, and only operate from there after we've done at least 5 minutes of connection. We are vibrational beings. This is not just something that you imagine that doesn't actually happen. This actually happens. When we send light or love from our heart to our partner, it's felt, and vice versa. Now stay there as long as you can, and then see where you want to communicate from. You see, when you communicate from a place that is focusing on love, love will show the way. When you communicate from a place that wants to be right, which is what happens, especially when we're hurt, we want our point of view to come forward. So we're communicating from a place that thinks it's right, even if it is right, in the general sense of the whole dynamic. Forget it, because as long as I want to stand there from there, I'll create conflict. So when I come from here, we'll find a solution. And the other thing that happens when I come from here, my righteous stance or my wall drops. I'm able to then possibly see a different point of view from my partner, right? Because I'm looking from here. So have the courage to say, okay, we're not getting anywhere here. and I'm willing to start a communication with you that's founded in love. Right? This isn't a conflict that happens when people are going outside the relationship and being out of integrity. Your relationship's got to be founded, as I said, in love, in trust, in integrity to start with. So those relationships, this is how you start the dialogue, you start the dynamic from a foundation of love. You say, let's start from our love, let's connect, let's forget the story right now, and let's connect from the heart center, and we love each other. So you might not be able to love each other, you might be sewing your stuff that you're stuck, but you're having the courage and the willingness to come here, close your eyes and say, let's send love to each other. Even though I don't want to, even though I think I'm really right and you're wrong, I'm willing to come to this place where love is. And this place will offer the solution. It will get the two of you into a place that will find a solution, because it's coming from here down to here. This doesn't have a solution, that's why you're fighting, right? You've got to remember that. The reason you're fighting is because of where you're seeing things from, even if you're right and he or she's wrong, right? But that's where the fight is. That's where the fight is inside of you, and that's where the fight manifests outside of you. So you've got to come here, because this is where the healing is. This is where the love is inside of you, right? And so when you both are willing to stop the crap going on here and come down, the one who is possibly wrong will admit it, right? That's what will happen. And the one who's so right will also realize that I could have possibly done that different. And then you come back to love. And here's the gift is that the love you come back to is greater than where you were before the conflict, which is the purpose of the conflict. But you've got to use the heart center to get you to the new expression of love. Okay? Have an absolutely fantastic day when you watch this. I'll talk to you next week. Thank you.